Cattle grazing on the rangeland of Idaho. We've all seen it. You can picture them just munching on that grass as they work through the land, moving from field to valley to pasture. But in Jordan Valley, the big grass fire has turned an edible feature and future into a dark and bleak one. The big grass fire started in eastern Oregon, jumping the Owyhee River right into the Gem State, eating up over 300,000 acres in the process. Ranchers scrambled to protect homes, dig their own fire lines, and try to protect the livelihood. For one rancher on the border, he's searching for lost cattle and looking toward a tough future.
Rushing, kicking up dust.
Oh, it's just mind-blowing that it did what it did. I mean, fire is a very destructive, evil thing.
It's a drive Silas Skinner's made every day, multiple times a day since the fire.
I think we've had one fire line on this whole thing that we put in that actually worked.
As the blackened miles go by, he remembers the battle.
Nothing works. Can't stop it.
The Skinner family has ranched this land for generations.
And so normally you can kind of see those hills pretty easy.
Usually clear as a bell. Yeah, I'm the 6th generation, and my little grandson's the 8th.
Land that's now quiet, charred.
And everything you can see that way it's miles that way. So, and miles that way.
And changed.
It's gonna be years of devastation.
All because of the rage of the big grass fire, a rage that jumped the Owyhee, took down sagebrush and timber, and even touched myth.
There's an old myth around here that South Mountain will never burn. And it hadn't burned in 100 years or that anybody knows of, and they've had small fires, but it got most of it this year.
Fences like this are damaged, they're not taught, and that is just one of those things that this big grass fire has destroyed. Not just the grass around us, but also stuff like this fence post. It's absolutely torched. It's gonna need to be replaced, and it could take years.
His cow herd, his feed, is getting the cattle back on the land.
And it's not just one rancher facing that challenge.
And we're probably talking 10, 12,000 head of cows that are gonna have to be relocated for 2 to 3 years.
New pastures run about $30 to $40 a cow-calf pair. And for those who've lost more,
all the way from $4,500 to $6,500 just for a bred cow.
Skinner alone still has?
Yeah, we're missing several hundred. We run Red Angus cows. These are cows we put in a corral to keep them out of the fire.
But he thinks most of them are safe, finding their way on his remote land.
Because I know they're not, but could there be some? Yes, but I haven't found them yet.
The loss isn't just measured in acres, it's personal.
That really hits home when you're putting your photo album in your pickup to try to save it. It's pretty tough to see.
And for Skinner, the cattle aren't just his livestock, they're his livelihood.
You kind of get to know your cows, and it's a hard thing to have to put down an animal that is your life.
On top of running cows, Silas is the president of the local rangeland fire protection team out there. Neighbors who've turned surplus Army trucks into fire engines, over 100 of them ranchers, to help fight alongside BLM. And yeah, it's just a dense situation out there.
Incredible story, incredible to see all of that. Cooper, what's something that Skinner told you he's seen out there, some of the incredible sights he's seen fighting this fire?
Well, something crazy was really just how close it got to those homes, and the fact that they were actually able to protect them, but also that there were these jackrabbits. They would build these fire lines, and these jackrabbits on fire would actually go across that fire line, and they'd start putting on fires like past it, advancing the fire line. It was something he said he'd never seen before, and he'd seen now, and it was just something crazy. And kind of deterring to their efforts to try and stop that fire in its tracks.
So I want to confirm the jackrabbits were on fire?
That's what he says, so.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.